Hi everyone, welcome to today's tutorial where I'll show you how you can improve on the rank ad that we created previously. So what we're going to do is we're going to use re-ranking to improve the quality of context. I'll also show you how you can use Streamlit to make the rank ad into a web app so it looks nicer, and it also makes it easier for me to show you the differences of what's the results if we don't use re-ranking or before you use re-ranking, and what are the results if we use re-ranking. So, and after that, I also will show you how to process the documents in different folders and query based on the collection name by using the set collection tool and the process documents in collection button here. So let's go to the C drive rank app folder. We click inside the location bar, we press backspace, then type cmd and press enter to open the command prompt. Next, let's activate the Python virtual environment and press enter. Then we know it's activated because we see in brackets the name of the folder name of the Python environment. Then let's type code and space then dot. Open VS Code in this folder. Okay, let's type CLS. Okay, let's type Ollama PS. We see there's no LLM running. Let's type Ollama list. We see there's llama 3.2 and no make embed text. So let's run llama run llama 3.2. Press enter and /by to exit. We type Ollama PS again. We see that it's now running the llama 3.2. Okay, let's type CLS. Okay, let's scroll up before devmin and enter in the new code. So the new code is about the re-ranker. So we're going to use cross encoder to do re-ranking. So let's import the cross encoder. Import sentence transformers from sentence transformers. Import cross encoder. Then Control S to save. So this is basically will provide the prompt, which is the user query, and we also provide documents to it. Basically, yeah, documents. Then from this list of documents, it will select the top 5 that it believes the best 5 of the documents that is passed to it. So if you give it 10 documents, you'll choose the best 5 of them, at least for this case. If I change it to equals to 4, then you give me a top 4. You change it to 3, you give me a top 3. Okay, so how do we use this? Let's go to here. Let's copy this. Let's go to here. Okay, this we want list docus. So this documents is actually a list of documents that's actually in results, the documents, the first element. The prompt is actually the user query. Okay, so we rank, then basically you iterate through the relevant text. You append all the documents, the top 5 documents that it thinks are the best, into relevant text, and then return relevant text and relevant text ID. So let's copy this. So I'll get relevant text and relevant text ID. Actually, relevant text in this case will be considered as the context. Okay, so instead of using context here, which is just the 10 documents that are generated and then just append them together, concatenate together, get one big string. Instead, we're using the re-ranker. In this case, we're using the re-ranking technique to get the top 5 of the documents that it thinks are the best, and then it appends those documents, then returns them and provide as a context. So this should give better quality context, and then we are passing this context instead of the previous lower quality context to it. So let's save this. Okay, let's type Python rec console and press enter. Oh, sorry, my mistake. Hit save. Remove the colon there, and let's try again. This assumes that you have already processed the small Word documents. If you go to Chroma, you can see under full text and under embeddings, you see small Word is already processed. So I don't need to process it again. This was processed in the previous video. Now we type, how do you set up game of more world? So it might not be obvious that this is a better pick than the previous one. So to make it more obvious, I'll show you the contents of context and relevant text ID, as well as the initial results. But in order to make it easier to show this info, I'll be using Streamlit. So let's close this first. Let's type on the human, we type done to exit. Okay, let's type CLS. Okay, let's now install Streamlit. So we click inside the terminal, we type pip install Streamlit and press enter. Okay, your output may look a bit different than mine because I've already installed it, so that's why it already says requirement already satisfied. So let's type CLS Clearstream. Okay, let's go to scroll here. Let's add some more code. Okay, this function will be called web app. We will comment out main. We will use web app instead. Web function instead. So the web app function will use Streamlit. So let's import Streamlit. Import Streamlit. S to save. Okay, oh sorry. Import Streamlit as st, and Control S to save. Okay, we will give the default name of the collection to small_world. We set the layout for the page config to white. We will have 3 columns, so the columns will be proportioned with 3 to 1. So the first column will be like use 3 of 6, second column will use 2 of 6, and the last column, the third column will use 1 of 6 of the available place. And besides that, we will still have a sidebar. So you in a sense look like you have 4 columns, 1 sidebar and then the 3 actual columns. We'll ask the user to enter a current collection, then we'll provide a button called set collection, and then when you click on that button, you'll set the collection to the value that the user set it to. So by right, we would use small_world. Then there's a button, we'll create another button called process documents in collection. When we click on it, and if collection name is not an empty string, it's a valid value, then we'll set the path documents to be path documents base, which would be documents slash the name of the collection, which in this case would be small_world. Then we'll load the documents, split the documents, add it to the chunk and all that. So in theory, we should not need to do this again, but then we can use this to process documents in other folders. Then after that, we will have, like I said, we have 3 columns. So remember, this is just the sidebar. Then first column would ask for the query from the user. Then we provide a button called ask. If its user query is not an empty string, button ask has been pressed, then we'll show the chat message from the assistant. So assistant in this case is the AI assistant. So basically this part is actually just copied from before results, query, blah, 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 and all that. So what has changed is that instead of iterating through for chunk in call LLM, blah, 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 and all that, we will just call LLM and we will equal to stream here. Then this stream thing will be, we'll use st.writeStream and then just plug in the stream value there, which will actually generate the final response. By using st.writeStream, the streaming will work properly without you needing to do this, which is needed because this is in the console. Okay, then after that we have in column 2, if button ask was clicked, then we have initial answer. If button ask was clicked and there's an actual user query, we'll also have we'll see the relevant text IDs and the context. Relevant text IDs and the context are returned by the re-rank function, while the results that's shown here is the initial results actually from the initial query. So the initial query will get 10 documents. Initial query, so the end results equals to 10 here. Then these 10 documents will essentially be passed into the re-ranker, which will then choose the top 5, or in this case the top 5 anyway. I could change the value to get top some other value, but in this case you'll get the top 5. Then they'll iterate through them to create a context, which is the concatenation of the text of the top 5 documents. And then you return those as context, and you tell you what's the relevant text IDs. So you won't quite understand what this means until I actually show you the example. So let's run this now. Streamlit run _app enter. Okay, we set collection to more_world and click set collection to. So it's now set to that. We'll ask how to set up the game of small world. And click us. So this is the sidebar, and then there's actually going to be 3 columns. You use timeout inquiry. Okay, let's see. Let's open command prompt. Let's type Ollama PS. Okay, we type Ollama PS, we don't see the llama 3.2 there, so we're gonna Ollama list. We type Ollama run llama 3.2 run. Okay, type by see Ollama PS. So now llama 3.2 is running. Let's go back. Let's try again. We click us. Okay, so previously the error is because the llama 3.2 was not running. So now yeah, it's running. So okay, so let's look at the initial results. Okay, let's look at, okay, so this is the relevant text ID. Okay, so relevant text ID, you will re-rank, so 3506. So let's look at 3. So if you look at 3, document 3, so these are the documents, then the first element is a list of documents. So instead of looking at 0, let's look at 1, that's 2, that's 3. All right, 3. So tray of game box. So let's look at this tray of game box. We copy. Let's go to documents. Sorry, let's go to documents, small world, open it. Let's search. So yeah, it's at the setting up game part, tray of game box and all that. Okay, let's move this out. Okay. Yeah, okay, never mind. Okay, tray of game box for more details on how to pick. Okay, so if we use 0 instead, so this ranks that one as earlier. Then the next one would be 5. So let's see, let's search for 5 colon. Search for 5 colon. Next one. Okay, so it says expense of the weaker neighbors. Expense of the weaker neighbor. So well, it's around the setting up the game part. So if we did not use the re-ranker, then the first thing you look at is 0, 1, 2. So 0 is basically this one. So 0, 0, that means is the page 0, no, the first page, rank chunk number 0 or chunk number 1, which is this part, which not really about the setup, it's more about components. Yeah. So the re-ranker pick the third chunk to be first, then the fifth chunk to be second, and so on. So third chunk said is talk about tray of box. So you see the context, say tray of the game box here, then number 5 is expense of the weaker neighbors. Let's look for it. So expense of the weakest neighbor. So you see it's concatenating the different parts into one big chunk. Yeah, and then using that to make a context, and then it uses and then it passes this context that is a bit better than this, because it picks the 5 better ones, rank the better ones. So at least number 3, it's the tray that came with the tray, the part is around here. At least this part is sort of in the setting up of the game part, rather than this part that's talking about the component but not really talking about the game yet. So using the ranker, it ranks the documents that it thinks are better suited compared to if you don't use the ranker. So by giving a better quality context, you normally can generate a better quality response. Okay, now I'm going to show you how we can process the different documents in different folders. So let's open a new tab. Let's search for Days of Wonder. Click here, Days of Wonder. Let's go to Ticket to Ride Europe. Let's download the rules, English, Control S to save. Okay. Okay, let's copy this to the documents. Let's make a new folder called ticket_to_right. And we paste in there. So remember it's ticket_to_right. Okay, let's go back to the browser. We go to Rec app. We change this to ticket_to_right, and click set collection to, and we need to process documents, so we click process documents in collection. Okay, so documents in that folder is processed. We can go to the VS Code. Let's click on Chroma, the SQLite file. We see let's go collections. We see, now there's ticket to write. We go to full text search. Okay, let's go to embeddings instead. Go to embeddings. There's SW is small word, T2RE is ticket to write. Okay, so now let's go back to the Red app. Let's ask how to set up game of ticket to write, and click us. Okay, so shuffle place deck. So we can look at the initial results. Let's look at context. So it thinks 0 is still good. Then the next one is 3 and 4. So 0 is now shuffle the game. Now shuffle all short routes with blah blah. I mean, it's under the setting up game part, so I guess it's okay. Congratulations, you have now improved the RAG AI using re-ranking and also improved the user interface with Streamlit. If you learned something useful, please hit the like button. If you want more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. See you in the next video.